Hello. 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 Yes, now seems to be audible. I forgot to connect the mic. Yes, audible. Okay, I'm so sorry for that goof up. But yes, please. So we are. I was about to announce the offer. An Academy is offering 20% discount on all CA subscriptions starting from 27th of June up to 30 June, up to tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Use my code Yashas Live to get a 20% discount on your subscriptions if you still haven't got your subscriptions. Maruti, just wait. Let us finish off the announcements first. Because this is necessary. You can type your doubt. Meanwhile, I will check your doubt in a while. So we are also offering scholarships for CA students. Scholarships you can obtain by following these steps that you see here. We've also launched the Iconic program. Iconic program is the premium subscription for CA Final students. Iconic was already there for intermediate and foundation. We have also launched that for CA Final students now. Under the Iconic program, you will get all benefits of routine plus classes. Plus, you will also get benefits like additional benefits like one-to-one mentorship. You'll get benefits like printed copies of the material, doubt solving, and plus all the other plus classes benefits, right? You'll also have evaluated test series. Yes, tests will be conducted and the papers will also be checked. And after checking, they'll also give you feedback regarding what is your performance in the test. The pricing for Iconic subscription goes like this. You can use code Yashas Live to get again 20% discount on that subscription. You'll get 20% if you take subscription up to 30 June. That is tomorrow, right? Group 2 also same pricing and same code you can use to get your discounts. Okay, so we had been discussing some basics of SCMPE, and we discussed about certain basic concepts, types of cost and cost sheet yesterday. Yes, Maruti, tell me, any doubts in the discussions we did yesterday? Yes, you can ask your doubts now. Yesterday, we stopped at this point here where we talked about high-low method. We talked about example number 3. In fact, before that, we had discussed example 1, example 2 to describe what is variable cost, what is fixed cost. But then I gave you example 3 in which the cost appeared to be neither variable nor fixed. Well, if the cost is neither a fixed cost nor a variable cost, then what does it mean? Well, then it means that my cost is combination of fixed plus variable. Yes, you can call that as SVC, semi-variable cost. Yep. And if there is a semi-variable cost, combination of fixed plus variable, then we need a method to separate VC and FC out of that SVC. The method to separate is called as high-low method, and today we are going to start by learning that method. Yes, Maruti, your question, basic doubts. Difference between cost estimation and costing, cost accounting, cost management. Okay, these are very much relatable terms, but costing is a very general term. Costing covers everything. Yeah, costing means anything related to costing. Anything related to cost calculations will come under costing. Second, that you say cost estimation. Estimation means making a budget, making estimates, right? So my costing subject does not involve only making estimates, but it is a part of the costing subject. Okay? Oh yes, please proceed. Tell me. Absolutely, Maruti, you can tell me your idea. I can just help you whether you're right or wrong. You know, doubt solving will be very much more convenient on Unacademy platform. I'll tell you what is the benefit of Unacademy platform rather than the YouTube classes. Yes, on Unacademy platform, even on Unacademy platform, you can have free classes. That is a special class. Today, I'll give you an experience of that special class also. So my session today right now is from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock only. Thereafter, by 8:15, I will be beginning my second session. Second session at 8:15 is on Unacademy platform. It is a special class on Unacademy. Special class on Unacademy platform are free classes. Yes, so I'll give you an experience of that free classes also so that you can understand that how convenient it is to use that Unacademy app. Yeah, I hope you have the link. I've shared the link on the Telegram channel. So 8:15 session, the second half will be on Unacademy, and you will experience that on Unacademy doubts asking is very convenient. See, on YouTube there is almost 30 to 40 seconds lag. So after I speak, you are able to hear almost 40 seconds late. So your doubt comes to me also 40 seconds late, right? But on Unacademy there is no lag, and plus on Unacademy platform you will also see an option to directly talk to me. Instead of typing such long doubts, you can actually talk to me, right? But right now, let's see what you are saying. Maruti, cost management is done for achieving any objective. Like traditional cost management has objective of profit increase. Strategic cost management has strategic intent in mind. Cost management has cost estimation, budgeting, and cost control. Okay. Is that done? You're done? You're still writing? Cost estimation is estimating each and every cost of production. Okay. Okay, Maruti, now yeah, you'll be taking a lot of time in writing. Let me help you out there rather than typing so much. Listen to me. So, cost management is basically managing the cost. Now, when I say managing the cost means what? Well, managing the cost, the most important thing in managing a cost is that you try to control the cost, you try to reduce the cost. Yes, so cost management involves cost control and cost reduction. What we did in my first class, if you remember, cost control, cost reduction, both are part of cost management. You try to manage your cost means you try to keep them in control and you even try to reduce them further, right? While cost estimation does not try to decrease the cost. Cost estimation is simply estimating the cost. That's it. You simply estimate the cost. You don't compare it with actual. You don't even try to reduce that estimate. That is simply cost estimation. Okay? Now within cost management, yes, you are right. There are two concepts. Traditional cost management is what you did at CA inter level. Strategic cost management is what we are doing at CA final level. Yeah, your inter level name of the subject was cost and management accounting. Yeah, at final level, your name of subject is strategic cost management. So mostly what we do at final level, and how is your final level costing different from inter level costing? You remember I told you that in my first introduction class, that how is final costing different from inter costing? Yeah, that exactly is the difference between traditional cost management and strategic cost management. Okay, so that was cost management. We also covered cost estimation, and what else were you asking? Costing is a general term. Costing is simply anything pertaining to cost calculation, right? Yes, so the term costing will include almost everything. And cost accounting, if you ask, well, cost accounting basically means that presenting all these cost calculations in the form of accounts, in the form of, yes, books of accounts. You remember you might have done integral and non-integral accounting at your CA inter level. Yeah, that integral and non-integral accounting is basically cost accounting. In fact, the name of that chapter was cost accounting system. Maruti, costing is a general term, covers everything, absolutely everything. So cost sheet is definitely part of that, right? In fact, cost sheet can also come under cost accounting. Cost sheet is also useful in cost management. Cost sheet is useful at so many places, right? See, Maruti, I would recommend that you don't get into the intricacies of the terminology. There is absolutely no use of getting into such details of individual terms. What is more important is conceptual clarity. Yeah, what is more important is conceptual clarity. What is more important is that you take correct decisions. Yeah, but what is the name given to the decision making process is not important. Yeah, the important thing is that you take correct decisions. But what is that decision making called? Whether you call it cost management or whether you call it costing or whether you call it cost accounting doesn't make a difference as long as your decision is correct. Okay? Yep. Okay, then example 3 is what we had started yesterday, where we talked about separating VC and FC out of SVC. Let us continue with that over here. Okay, so in this example 3, you notice that 10,000 is my cost when I produce 1,000 units. No, Razia, my today's session on Unacademy is going to be a free session. So even if you don't have subscription, you can watch my today's session at 8:15. Yes, my today's session at 8:15 is a free session. You can watch that on Unacademy. But if you have if you are opening Unacademy for the first time, then you need to put my code. My code is Yashas Live. Yeah, put my code Yashas Live and it will give you access to all the free classes. Done? Did you understand that? See, Razia, on Unacademy platform there are many free classes also. Yeah, your subscription classes are the regular batches, but free classes, there are absolutely many free classes there. So many chapters you will find in the free classes itself. Yeah, so to access the free classes, you just need to put my code. Just need to put my code so that Unacademy people know that you joined Unacademy because of Devang. That's it. I should get the credit, right? So use my code and I'll get the credit of it. I don't get money for that, but I'll get the credit for that. Right? Okay. Okay, so coming back over here, you notice that 10,000 is my cost for 1,000 units. 10,600 is my cost for 1,200 units. Now, out of this 10,000, do we know how much is fixed, how much is variable? No. Out of this 10,600, do you know how much is fixed and variable? No. But now notice, but if I observe this difference, yes, Razia, thank you. If I observe this difference, how much is the cost increasing? You see that the cost is increasing by 600, right? My cost is increasing by rupees 600. So tell me, now you tell me that this 10,000 is fixed or variable, you don't know. This 10,600 is fixed or variable, we don't know. But what about this 600? What about this 600? Can you tell me this 600 is fixed or variable or both? Yes, any idea? This 600, is it fixed or variable, or does that also contain both? Hello, can you hear me? Come on, answer me. Did you understand my question? Should I repeat the question? Okay, I think you've not got the question, or else I'm not getting your answers. Yes, I'll repeat the question. See, my question is that 10,000 rupees cost, is it fixed or variable or both? Well, this is containing both. We already proved that here. So do you know that out of this 10,000, how much is variable, how much is fixed? No. Out of this 10,600, do you know what is variable, what is fixed? No. But this 600, is that variable or is that fixed, or is that also containing both? 600 is the difference between these two costs. 600 is the increase in cost. So can you tell me that this increase amount Is that fixed or is that variable, or is that also containing both? Maruti, don't say no. Just tell me, is it VC or is it FC, or does it contain both? Three options you have. Okay, Razia says that 600 is fixed cost. Okay, and Maruti says that 600, we don't know what can it be. Well, let me tell you, unfortunately, both of you are wrong. First of all, Razia, tell me, Razia, how did you judge that this is fixed cost? How did you judge that 600 is fixed cost? See, why is that 600 increasing? 10,000 was my cost of 1,000 units. 10,600 is my cost of 1,200 units. So your cost is increasing by 600. Why is it increasing by 600? What is the reason why this cost is increasing? Well, my cost is increasing because units are increasing. My cost is increasing because units are increasing. Now, Razia, does the fixed cost increase because of increase in units? My cost is increasing because of increase in units. Does the fixed cost increase because of increase in units? Obviously not. Fixed cost doesn't increase because of increase in units. So whatever is increasing here, so whatever this 600 rupees is increasing, that 600 must be which cost? Now you tell me. Well, if you understand this explanation, you should be convinced that this 600 is definitely purely only variable cost. Yes, this 600 is purely only variable cost. Why only VC? Because fixed cost does not increase due to increase in units. So whatever is increasing, that increased portion is definitely only variable cost. Do you understand that? Yes, that increased portion is pakka, definitely only variable cost, and that is variable cost because of how many units? This is my variable cost. This increase is my variable cost increasing, and that increase in variable cost is because of how many units? Well, this extra VC is because of 200 extra units. Yeah, extra VC of 600 is because of 200 extra units. Can you convert that into per unit? Yes. So that gives my formula for high-low method. So that gives me 3 per unit. Now this means that 3 rupees per unit is my variable cost per unit. But basically this 3 is variable cost of which units? This is variable cost of which units? Well, this is variable cost of that 200 units which are increasing. But tell me, if the variable cost of these 200 units is 3 rupees, then can I say that variable cost for all 1000 units is also 3 per unit? If the VC for 200 units is 3 rupees, therefore VC for all units is also 3 per unit. VC for all units is also rupees 3 per unit. Why? Because I proved this to you yesterday that in case of variable cost, you notice per unit remains constant. So whatever is the per unit cost for 200 units, same will be the per unit cost for 1000 units. Same is the per unit cost for 1200 units. Your variable cost per unit remains constant. Because it remains constant on a per unit basis, that's the reason step 1, you identify variable cost per unit 3 rupees. Now that same 3 rupees rate will apply to all the units that you produce. Yes, so if 3 rupees is the VC of 200 units, therefore VC for all units is also 3 per unit. Now that you know VC for all units is 3 per unit, using that you can find the FC. FC you will find on a total basis. Why? Because we considered yesterday that VC remains constant on a per unit basis while FC remains constant in terms of total. Yes, so if FC remains constant in terms of total, so you better find FC in terms of total. VC is expressed in per unit basis, so you find VC on per unit basis, but FC is expressed in total basis, so FC you find also in total basis. So how do I get my total FC now? Total FC will be total cost minus variable cost, and you can do this using either the high level or the low level. Let's say at the low level, this is my low level cost, this is my high level cost. See, the method is called as high-low method because in order to apply this method, you need one cost of low level and you need one cost of high level, right? So my low level cost is 10,000 rupees. Let's start from that. So using my low level cost, my total cost is 10,000 minus what is variable cost out of that 10,000. Well, out of this 10,000, now I know that variable cost is 3 per unit on 1000 units. 3 per unit on 1000 units. So balance 7,000 is my fixed cost. Similarly, I can also identify that using the high level. Same answer I will get. Let's see. At the higher level, my total cost is 10,600. Start from that. At the high level, my total cost is 10,600. And from that, I minus 3 per unit for 1200 units. Out of 10,600, how much is VC? VC is 3 per unit for 1200 units. So out of 10,600, my VC is 3,600. Balance FC turns out to be again 7,000. So FC, whether you find FC using the low level or whether you find FC using high level, it will give you same 7,000 as the answer. So my FC remains constant. At high level as well as low level, my total FC remains the same 7,000. Now, what if I ask you an extra question? Imagine, imagine I ask you an extra question that you find total cost for 1500 units. Imagine if I ask you to find a total cost for 1500 units. Acha, tell me, can you find the total cost of 1500 units by simply doing a cross multiplication here? Like, can you do this? For example, let's see, you tell me, can I do that? 1200 units is 10,600. So 1500 units should be what? Or better, 1000 units is 10,000, then 1500 should be what? If you cross multiply here, it should give you 1500 units costing 15,000. Tell me, is this correct or not? Will this be correct or not? Well, definitely this is not correct because this cost is not purely VC. If this cost is not entirely variable cost, so you cannot do such cross multiplication there. If I ask you to find the cost of 1500 units, then you have to first identify what is the VC. You need to identify what is the FC, and then accordingly you find the cost for 1500 units. So I'll say that therefore total cost for 1500 units will be variable cost of 1500 plus fixed cost. Variable cost of 1500 units is 3 per unit for 1500 units, plus fixed cost of that is 7,000. So what does that give you? That gives me 4,500 plus 7,000. That is, yes, 11,500. Done. So please understand that if I ask you the cost for 1500 units, please do not blindly cross multiply, because such cross multiplication you can do if it is purely VC. But this cost is not purely VC, you cannot do cross multiply. Yeah? Yes, I'll give you a couple of minutes. Please copy this method as your high-low method. And let me know if you have any questions. And do let me know once you're done. Done? Any questions? Okay, so let us call this example 3 See, example 1 was an example of variable cost. Example 2 was an example of fixed cost. Example 3 is an example of semi-variable cost. But you know, there can be two different types of SVC. Let me call this as SVC type 1. Now this is actually my home production. This is actually my home production. The names that I'm giving here are my home production: SVC type 1, SVC type 2. Next, we are going to learn another different type of SVC called SVC type 2. SVC type 1 is the name that I'm giving to this cost, which is total of VC plus FC. But my example 4 that I'm now going to give is again an example of SVC, but I call that as SVC type 2. And this is very important. This is basically a batch cost. Yo, why do I get so many spammers every day? Tell me, do these spammers come in other faculty classes also? Have you seen? So SVC type 2 is an example for a batch cost. Now for batch cost, let's say imagine I am running a school. Imagine I'm running a school, and in my school I have like thousands of students in the school, and I'm planning to arrange for a school picnic. I'm planning to arrange for a school picnic. Okay, Maruti, thank you. See, I'm planning to arrange a school picnic, and for that school picnic, I've already fixed a destination, and I am arranging bus transport for all my students. Yeah, now bus transport will cost me something. I talked to the bus operator. I told the bus operator that you need to take the bus from the school premises to the picnic destination in the morning, and from the picnic destination back to the school premises by the evening. You have to bring them back. Right, so the bus operator is quoting me charges for the bus transport, but you know how the bus operator will quote the charges? The bus operator will quote the charges in terms of per bus. Why? Because he will not quote in terms of per kilometer. Kilometers are fixed. I didn't told him to go for any distance. I'm telling him to go from the school till the picnic destination, and from the picnic destination till the school premises. So the distance is already fixed. Bus operator will give me quotation in terms of cost per bus. Let's say his quotation goes like this. Say the bus operator quoted me charges of rupees 1000 per bus. Now if the bus operator is quoting me charges of rupees 1000 per bus, and I also give you the bus capacity. Now the bus capacity is 50 seats. So 50-seater bus is what we are talking about. Now 1000 rupees per bus and 50 seats are there in a bus. Now, what will be my total transport cost? That depends on how many students register for the picnic. I make an announcement in my school and I ask all the students that whoever wants to come for the picnic, you need to pay some nominal fees and get your name registered for the school picnic. Right now, naturally, all students might not register for the school picnic. So the total bus transport cost, my total cost of bus transport depends on how many students will register for the picnic. Let's say, for example, I compare number of students and my cost. But my cost is given in terms of per bus. So can I say cost depends on number of buses that I take? Right. So let me add one more column here. Number of buses. So now tell me, if out of all the students in my school, if 30 students register for the picnic, then how many buses will I need? What will be the bus cost? If 30 students register for the picnic, then how many buses do I need and what will be the bus cost? Well, if 30 students register for the picnic, then 30 students can be seated in one bus, right? For 30 students, how many buses do I need? Only one bus. And what will be the cost? Well, if I take only one bus, then my cost will be rupees 1000. Double, if 60 students register for the picnic, then how many buses do I need? What will be my bus cost? Well, 60 students, I will need two buses and my bus cost will become 2000. So tell me, do you see that my bus cost, can I say that my bus cost is variable? Tell me, can I say that this bus cost is a variable cost? With the increase in the number of students, my bus cost is increasing and it is increasing proportionately. So will I say that my bus cost is variable? Yes or no? Well, definitely no. Why? Because I'll give you a third example that should clarify. What if now my number of registrations reach 90? If 90 students register for the picnic, will I need three buses? No. 90 students can be accommodated within two buses itself. Right? Maximum, how much can I accommodate in two buses? Maximum, how many students can I fit in two buses? Hundred students, absolutely, because my bus capacity is 50 seats. If bus capacity is 50, then 90 students can be fit in two buses. Two buses can fit total 100. Yes, 90 students can easily fit within two buses, right? So two buses cost will be 2000 rupees, right? So you notice that every time with increase in number of students, my cost doesn't increase. So how does my cost increase? Does my cost increase with increase in every single student? No. My cost increases on what base? Instead of 90, if I get registration from say 120 students, then I will need 3 buses and it will cost me 3000. If I get registration from 150 students, I will again need 3 buses and it will cost me again rupees 3000. If I get registration from 151 students, then what? If I get registrations from 151 students, how many buses will I need? Can I fit 151 students in 3 buses? Theoretically, you tell me. Theoretically, can I fit 151 students in 3 buses? Well, theoretically, I cannot fit them in 3 buses. You will say that, okay, sir, adjust kar lenge. You will say that, okay, sir, we will adjust within the 3 buses itself. Obviously, I will make you adjust. Practically, pakka, I will make you adjust that in 3 buses only. But yeah, yeah, you can let one stand or maybe ask one person to sit along with other person. Godi mein bitha lo. Yeah. So practically, you might try to adjust them in 3 buses itself. But theoretically, can I fit 151 students in? Theoretically, can I fit 151 students in 3 buses? No. I will need the 4th bus, and that will cost me another 1000 rupees. It will cost me rupees 4000. भाई कौन है ये? Okay, so in short, my point is that with the increase in number of students, my cost is increasing. Cost is increasing with increase in number of students, but is it increasing with increase in every single student? No. This type of cost is called as my batch cost. This type of cost is also a semi-variable cost, but this is purely semi-variable cost. This cost is my pure semi-variable cost. It is called as a batch cost. See, it was necessary to differentiate SVC type 1 and SVC type 2. Why? Because see, in SVC type 1, it is combination of VC and FC. Now, because this is combination of VC and FC, so we have a method to separate that VC and FC. But my SVC type 2, over here, is this a combination of VC and FC? No. So can you apply high-low method to split VC and FC out of this? Come on, tell me. Can you apply high-low method to split this cost into VC and FC? Well, no, you cannot, right? This cost cannot be split into VC and FC because this is not a combination of VC and FC, right? So in this case, one important conclusion here is that high-low method is not applicable batch cost cannot be split into VC and FC, right? Batch cost cannot be split into VC and FC. High-low method is not applicable here. That is one important conclusion. And based on that, I now define what is SVC, what is batch cost. See, for variable cost, I said, remember in variable cost, I had said that variable cost increases with increase in every single unit. For fixed cost, I said that it doesn't increase with any increase in units. Now for batch cost, I have another statement. Batch cost increases with increase in what? Batch cost increases with increase in group of units, or you can say batch of units. Batch cost increases with increase in batch of units, increases with increase in group of units. Then this is called as my batch cost. Remember this definition? Remember this definition, I will need that later when we have concept of batch cost. No Maruti, my batch cost doesn't increase with every single student. It increases with every 50 students. You notice that here? It doesn't increase every time my students are increasing. Therefore, from 60 to 90 students are increasing, but my cost is not increasing. It will increase not with every increase in students, it will increase after every 50 students, right? If you convert this into a graph, I'll show you. चलो graph कैसा दिखता है इसका? Do you know how does the graph of fixed cost appear? Do you know how does the graph of fixed cost appear? Fixed cost goes like this, straight line, where x-axis is my units and y-axis is the cost, rupees. So fixed cost goes in a straight line like this. How does variable cost graph appear? Variable cost graph starts from 0 and goes up like this. This indicates that when units are 0, then variable cost rupees are also 0. When units are 0, then my rupees will also be 0. And then when units start increasing, then my rupees also start increasing. So variable cost has a graph like this. And accordingly, what will be the graph for total cost? Well, this becomes my graph for total cost. And this total cost is my SVC type 1. Yes, this total cost is my SVC type 1. It will start from the point where FC is starting. It will start from the point where FC is starting, and then it will increase in proportion to the VC. Right? Yes. So this is my graph. So one more graph. For the SPC type 2, my graph will be what? Yes, Maruti, my SPC type 2 graph will appear like steps. Yes, it will go like this. This graph is my graph for SVC type 2. This is my batch cost. Or I call that as SVC type 2. And you notice in this graph that for 0 to up to 50 students, up to 50 students registration, my cost is 1000. One bus I need. If my registration reaches 100 students, then my cost becomes 2000 because 2 buses I will need. If my registrations reaches 150 students, then my cost becomes 3000 because 3 buses I need. and so on. Yes, so you notice that in this graph, don't you see in this graph, you can split the total cost between VC and FC. Yes, out of this total cost, the starting point of the TC graph becomes my FC. But the point beyond that over here, this becomes my TC. The graph below the starting point is my fixed cost, and the graph beyond that starting point, this point becomes my VC. So in short, in case of total cost, you can split that between VC and FC. But in case of batch cost, tell me, in case of this batch cost, is there any method how you can split this in VC and FC? No, this is purely a batch cost. It is the third category of cost. There can be variable cost, there can be fixed cost, and now this is a third category, new category called a batch cost. Yeah. Yes, done. Did you understand? Yeah, please do copy that as your concept about batch cost. Now this covers all my components under different types of cost. Yeah, this covers all components under different types of cost. My next discussion is another revision topic, another topic from your CA inter level which we need to revise. We are going to revise a topic called as overhead absorption. You know what is overheads? We discussed that yesterday. We will now learn about what is exactly overhead absorption means. Yeah, absorption of overheads is from your CA inter level overheads chapter, but we will need that at many places at CA final level. That's going to be my next discussion. But as I told you, that next discussion is gonna happen on Unacademy special class, right? So please log on to Unacademy app, go for my profile, and click on the link that I have given to you. If you click on the link, you will directly get access to the class of 8:15 that I have announced. Okay? If you are not able to access the class, use my code YASHAS Live to get access to the free classes. Yeah, I'll meet you there in another 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I'll meet you there in another 10 minutes. Okay? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I'll just need some time to reconnect the wires for the Unacademy class. So in 10 minutes, we'll be live on Unacademy. Huh? Yes, Razia, tell me. Question. What are the batch timings? Okay, Razia, can I announce that batch timings in the Unacademy class? Are you joining that class? 10 minutes, mein, please join my class on Unacademy. I'll give you my entire batch schedule. Because see, on YouTube, I cannot share links with you, but on Unacademy, I can directly share the batch link with you. You'll get all details over there. Okay? Okay, then see you in 10 minutes.